It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing, getting sideways like a bridesmaid. That she vibrate if you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom, something like a wonderland. Understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you are having a great morning. My name is Bleeves. This is Breakfast with Bleeves. We're going to look at the market. Pre-markets were looking very, very dry, and then the earnings report started coming in. And guess what? Turns out the economy, we're not doing so bad in the overall. And when I say we, I mean the rich people. I don't mean me. And I mean most of you guys are probably not millionaires either. So, the millionaires, they're doing all right. We, we're doing what we're doing, right? So first of all, let's get in chat. Mr. P's AFT, good morning. Stephen Blaylock, good morning. Richard Caldwell in the house, good morning. Callum C in here. CEO 100 by the dip BRL in the house. Justin W, good morning. Maddie B in the house. Pre-market looks like crap. That was 6 minutes ago, Maddie B. It's different now. Dalton in the house, good morning. Luna Wolf here. Rio is here. Kenneth Dimitri, what is going on, my man? Tom Collide says Volt is killing me. Well, dodge it better. You know what I mean? Like, don't let him stab. Ant, what is going on? Single father of two. I am out of money. All right. Well, this is not the market to be out of money, man. This is we've had a gigantic pump around here, and you never go all in on anything. But I certainly feel your pain in some ways, and I do hope that things get better. Glenn Allen, good morning. It's time for those gems you want. It is absolutely a good time for the gems. Look, money's been sucked out of meme coins into main coins, and everybody who's doing that has been prospering. Good morning, everybody's mama. Jeff T in the house. Kamal, good morning. Juice in the house, good morning. Sergio, good morning. Greg M in the house. Volt is a long-term play. You won't see any real reaction till the end of the year of 2024. That is why it's urged to do your research beforehand. Snoop Dogg in the house. What's going on? Suffering Thugatash, man. You're just making it easy for everybody. Believe Kentucky boy. He's my guy. He may not think he is my financial advisor, but he is. L1C4, baby. L1C4. Crypto Steve in the house. What is going on? And Ellis is here. What is happening, guys? So we're going to take a quick look. This is the market right now. Dow futures are up 90, S&P 14, NASDAQ futures 43. When Maddie B now 7 minutes ago said, whoa, there's nothing really going on in the market, the Dow futures were at about 5. And now all of a sudden they're up 90. And the reason for that is very simple. We had Cisco miss, but when you look at the 80 here on 83, you can forgive that one, right? But Imperial Oil on 10 billion, They did actually a really good job. They went over by about 10%. Phil Tuasant's in the house. What is going on? Manpower did not make theirs, but again, very close. Hubble beats. GLW Corning beat, but guides lower. That's fair enough. That's what we're looking for in April. That's where we're looking for that downward sort of movement. McDonald's, you chubs. Hey, McDonald's beats again, because that's what McDonald's do. Get yourself a cheeseburger and a shake. Do they have shakes? Does McDonald's have shakes? Get yourself a shake, and it's on you. Moody's beats. So another one. He of the Lake in the house. Lloyd of Wales. What is going on? Kirby beats. So if you got vacuum cleaners, there you go, man. 67 cents on 64. Allegro Microsystems beats. Not a big company, but still some value there. Evoqua Water Technologies beats. Oshkosh Truck misses. Didn't miss severely, but it is a little bit there. So Phillips 66 misses on $4.34. Phillips did not do good. That's 40.9 billion right now, right there. So you do have a tiny bit of concern. You think, well, what's going on with the energy industry? Why is there something wrong here? Smith AO beats 936. MPLXLP misses on 78 cents for 84. Again, kind of close. MSCI beats on 576 million. Pfizer beats but guides lower. 24 billion versus 24 billion. 114 per share versus 103. Marathon Petroleum. Now that we're staying in the oil and gas industry, and they had a massive win. 665 on 554. The estimate for Marathon was 32 billion. They did $40 billion in revenue. General Motors at 212 earnings beat against 168. 43 billion in sales versus 40 billion estimate. Caterpillar misses. Again, not a big miss. So, it's very tough on some of these. When you're missing, you don't want to see the misses, but at the same time, yeah. So the misses are even looking good. ExxonMobil missed right here. This is a miss, right? But it's because the earnings whisperer was janking you and telling you it was going to be 341. Actually, ExxonMobil hit 340 on 332. Now, of concern is they're missing $4 billion in revenue. But if you go up here to Marathon, I can tell you where it went. Marathon had a great quarter. UPS misses 362 on 358. That sounds like a hit to me, but the earnings whisperer had some ridiculous number here that they threw out there. But UPS revenue was down $1 billion. Spotify missed on $1.43 per share. Wait a minute. On $1.28, it was a loss. Sorry. They lost bigger than was expected. Company said in the earnings presentation it expects the first quarter revenue to be approximately 3.37 billion. The current consensus revenue estimate is 3.3 billion. So there's your miss. Spotify Technology. Polaris Industries beats. High Tide reports in line. Small company. So as we keep going down here, that wraps it up for the day. So earnings whisperers showed we have a few misses. We have a few key places where we could try to do something, but otherwise the market is just fine. Still not experiencing that overall crunch that we've been looking for. So that moves us over to crypto. We're now at 1.048 trillion market cap on a volume of about 50 billion for the day. And you can see in the last hour, Bitcoin is pumped back up to 23,100. Guys, we are set to sail. All we need is a nice little move in the next little while for some confirmation. And that recovery is back on. Ethereum is at 1584. We're starting to see these pumps start to rally. Remember, Ethereum was at 1530 down yesterday. And the question is, what happened yesterday? By the way, and we actually have the answer to that over here. Sentiment explains why Bitcoin saw a pullback during the past day. And this is a great thing for cryptocurrency, in fact, because this is what This is how we get people out here when we get news like this. As per data from the on-chain analytics firm Sentiment, yesterday was the largest profit-taking day for Bitcoin since February of 2021. Yesterday, in January 30 of 2023, was the largest profit-taking day for Bitcoin since February of 2021. That's what a recovery looks like. The relevant indicator here is the ratio of on-chain transaction volume and profit to loss, which, as its name already implies, measures the ratio between the daily volume being involved in profit-taking transactions and that involved in loss-taking ones. The indicator works by looking through the on-chain history of each coin in the circulating supply to see what the price is it was last moved at. So we had finally a big profit-taking day. This is exactly what we've been waiting for. These are the types of news things that start a rally. This is how market recovery begins, not just overall, by the way, not just overall. This is how it begins in retail. When retail starts to see that there's money to be made and they can throw their tax refund that everybody's about to get. If they can just throw their tax refund at something and maybe catch a 20 or 30 or 50% increase on something, that risk is worth it to a lot of people. And that gets them ready to start throwing money at a market where, those kind of things are not rare. Those kind of things happen all the time. So that puts us in a great position. Now, the overall market, it looks like this right now. We had this big drawback, which is yesterday. That's that red candle yesterday. And that is an almost encompassing candle, by the way. That would have been a huge bearish symbol if that had actually happened that way. But it did not. So we are back in business. You can see here the market is moving back up from that low of 979 all the way up to 1.005 trillion just a few moments ago before settling back down at 1.001 trillion. Now, by the way, this overall total market cap is just a little bit different than the one that Coin Market Cap. So if you ever wonder why I go back and forth on price action, why it seems different, that's the reason. But Bitcoin right here, this is where we are. This is what's going to happen. You can see, by the way, that line that we created yesterday. Remember, we created this line yesterday, and what happened? It was used as resistance right there. So we are exactly where we need to be on where we're predicting. These predictions are panning out. So that being said, maybe we could retrace back to 22.8, but it's also entirely possible we do just a little bit less. We drop here maybe 23. Or we just start busting right through here because this does not appear to be major resistance. And it doesn't cross over, by the way, on any sort of massive area. Well, I guess it does a little bit, but I mean, it's to the point that we're not even looking at it, right? So, maybe we can bust through here and get ourselves back to where it was. But and I guess it's 23.1. And we've been talking about that for a while. We just removed it from the list. So maybe we get through. Ethereum, on the other hand, was showing a lot of weakness, starting to show a little bit of strength. Now, the fact that it got rejected down a little bit lower, or is getting rejected a little bit lower than 1594, should be a little bit of a cause for concern because that's, again, the weakness starting to show again. But listen to this. USTC is up 15% in the last few hours, and it's down here, by the way. It was up 30% just a little while ago. And if you've been following me for Luna Classic for any length of time, I've been telling anybody who would listen that we were going to have one of those pumps that was going to send this thing. And guess what? It started happening. And what happened was Binance removed the warning label from USTC on its website. So that is the first step to getting that repeg happening. So now the question is, can we get over this 200 EMA, which is going to act as resistance at about 3 cents? And can we get into this 3.4 cents and then just keep moving up here? Maybe we can get to 4.7 cents. The reason for that, by the way, look, USTC is not a money maker for you, I don't think, right? This is a flip to accumulate more Luna Classic for the future. I put in basically 494,000, which is up to like 700,000 right now if I flip it and add it into my Luna Classic holding. So I'm going to wait until it's up here maybe flip like 2 or 3 million and add that into the mix, 2 or 3 million is basically $500 or $600. So it's worth doing this flipping, and it's worth doing this adding when you're getting this pump like this. And Luna Classic is not shying away either. Luna Classic is on a little bit of a pump too. It's just to get back in line here, though. We need to bounce off of this a few times, get up into this 20 range. Otherwise, we're still kind of in, we're not going to be in the greatest of shape unless we get into that 20 range. That's over the 200 EMA. That allows for that kind of run. Now, in order for that to happen, it does take some announcements and a little bit of information on the actual repeg, which we don't have yet. We've got a proposal up, but there's not a lot of enthusiasm for that proposal. So we'll see how that plays out. I think that the people generally are looking for Ed Kim and maybe some of the developers to actually come up with their own proposal and not just take a proposal from people out there just saying, hey, let's just repeg it and see what happens. You know what I mean? So I think that that's probably one of those moments where, yeah, but let's move back on to the news. Let's try to get everything covered here today. Why crypto investors must avoid this stablecoin right now. This is, if you know who this is, this is Satan, and this is his cousin, Satan. Now, these guys are the Winklevoss twins. According to Mark Zuckerberg, they stole his Facebook idea out of his brain, actually created it, and made him pay them money for it. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Sounded to me like they created the Facebook and he stole the idea. But 2022 GUSD, that's Gemini USD, is at 98.8 cents, but it was at 95.5 at one point earlier. It is time to get your money out of Genesis. Okay. Now, listen, if you want to keep your money in the exchange, that's on you. That's a choice that you're going to have to make for yourself. But Genesis USD is collapsing. It is failing. It has not stabilized. And Gemini is now under federal investigation and a state investigation from the New York Department of Financial Services. So there are plenty of things going on in the negative for Gemini. Get your money off of that exchange, because if you don't, they could be next. And you will get wrecked because of it. Now, remember, this is an American exchange. So this is not one of those situations where it's overseas and it's FTX collapsing and nobody loses anything. This is an American market. So get your money off of Gemini and get your money. If you decide you're going to do that, you do that at your own risk, but get out of GUSD, because that is collapsing as well. Crypto asset inflows hit 6-month high with increased focus on Bitcoin. So we're finally seeing some weak inflows, and that's been great for business. You can see right here that according to data curated by CoinShares, cryptocurrency investment products recorded weekly inflows of 117 million last week. It should be noted that this is the highest since July of 2022. Bitcoin emerged as the star of the show, accounting for 116 million in inflows during the same time period. There was also a few dainty inflows into shorts, Bitcoin totaling 4.4 million. I think they're talking about billion here. Jesus Christ, like, these are little numbers. I don't think this person understands. Anyway, money's coming into the market. It's starting to feel really good. So let's move on from that. Bitcoin could be the next best alternative to central banks' ChatGPT. Listen, for days now, we've been talking about ChatGPT and how great it is and how it's solving the world problems and how it's creating these sweet ass backgrounds that I've been using for a couple days now, and how incredible and impressive all of the stuff that it's been able to do, because what it does is conversational language, right? ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence bot, seems to know the value that Bitcoin holds and commands in the financial sector. A Bitcoin maxi who provides educational materials for new entrants in the cryptocurrency market asked ChatGPT, how can humanity end central banking? Surprisingly, ChatGPT explained the one way for centralized banking to come to an end could be through decentralized digital currency. That is absolutely bonkers. That is so absolutely amazing. Forsaken One says that ChatGPT is text only. Yes, but it all comes from OpenAI, which is where it starts. And OpenAI also is what's used for Midjourney. So the same AI mechanism is being used in different places. ChatGPT is just conversational AI. Midjourney is art AI. So it's the same OpenAI format. BTC Maxi straightforwardly asked, which one is it, ChatGPT, Bitcoin or crypto? The bot replied with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. We all know that. But there we go. Like, that is absolutely crazy that even ChatGPT knows what the future brings. Hey, Peter Schiff, why don't you use ChatGPT every once in a while, and maybe you'll learn something and you'll stop losing your money on gold. Now, moving on just a little bit here. New York State proposes accepting cryptocurrency payments. State entities in the American state of New York will now be able to accept payments made in cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Now, that means, okay, so this to me, I don't know exactly why those are the four, but those four are the ones that are used with BitPay. So that's a little interesting. So I do think that maybe what they're telling you is that you can use your BitPay account, because that's what I use for paying with crypto is my BitPay. Also, you can use SHIB on that, but I mean, come on, we're not gonna do that, right? I mean, we do agree, like, using SHIB as a payment mechanism right now is not a great idea. I mean, it's great from the context of burning. It's great for that purpose, right? But, like, do you want to give yours up for that purpose? Because I don't. Like, it doesn't seem to me like it has a benefit. So I get nervous about that. Bitcoin, I don't mind. Ethereum, I don't mind. Bitcoin Cash, obviously you don't mind. But, that's up to you. Also, Celsius in the news. Alex Mashinsky, what a dirtbag this guy has become. Every time we find out something about Alex Mashinsky, it turns into that all he really was a tanned shade of dog shit, right? Everything that he touches turns to garbage. Celsius failed to report $800 million in losses as CFO flagged possible illegal behavior. However, that did not stop him. At the same time that he was flagging this down, he cashed out more than $68 million. This guy knew exactly what was going to happen. He knew he was over leveraged. He knew he was in this situation, and basically took $68 million from his company so that he could be the $68 million man. And the rest, as they say, is history. So in the bankruptcy filing, it reported a $1.2 billion hole in its balance sheet. That didn't stop him from taking $68 million or saying, possible. The report details staff fears about whether they are complying with the laws, including comments from Harumi Urata Thompson, who served as CFO from February 20 to November 21, and says that we are doing something possibly illegal. And Alex Mashinsky said, "Give me that cash, girl. Shut your mouth." And so that's I'm giving you hyperbole, but that is exactly what happened. So let's move on a little bit. SEC settles on security claim in the library case. And guess what? Community calls it a big win for crypto. The SEC was hoping to seek affirmation of an ambiguous injunction after scoring a victory during a hearing in November 22, but judge made it clear that the judgment was only for the direct sale. So the United States Securities and Exchange Commission admitted on record that the sale of LBRY credits library tokens on the secondary market doesn't constitute a security. The settlement came during an appeal during the LBRY versus SEC case on January 30th. In what many call a victory for the entire crypto industry against the SEC's overreach and regulation by enforcement, attorney John Deaton settled a major debate during the appeal hearing. The SEC was awarded summary judgment in its favor during the November 7 hearing. The judgment categorized each sale of the LBC token during a 6-year period as an investment contract without going into detail about the transaction specifics. The SEC hoped to advance its effort to gain legitimacy in the secondary market and bring it under its purview. The SEC has asked the New Hampshire District Court judge to affirm the wide ambiguous injunction prohibiting its sale. Deaton, who represented tech journalist Naomi Brockwell in the amicus curiae, sought clarity for the LBC secondary market transaction before he found the injunction ambiguous and broad. An amicus curiae is an individual organization that is not party to a legal case but is permitted to assist a court by offering information. And we knew this was happening, by the way. I think I told you this back in November that John Deaton was going to be part of this. Now, Deaton cited a paper by commercial contract lawyer Lewis Cohen that examined all security assets in the U.S. since the SEC versus W.J. Howie. No court acknowledged that the underlying asset was security at any point through the Cohen's examination of security cases. So, based on how it's been settled every single time since Howie, the Howie case is what, Jesus Christ, just give me 1 second here. That case is from 1946. So for 60, 70, 80, for almost 80 years, it's been settled a certain way. And now the SEC is trying to change everything. So they lost their case. Now they had to settle. So there we are. Now, finally, crypto.com price wobbles despite bullish security and privacy news. Now, if you didn't know, the Crow token is now ISO 20017 and 20018 compliant. The only crypto in the industry that is currently doing that, but it shows weakness, right? Now going down here, you can see the RSI strength indicator has caused a drop in the price. There's been a little bit of weakness. It's gone back down to you can see right here, 7.9 cents, dropped off a little bit, while the rest of the market has not had nearly that sort of capitulation. It's dropped down and it went below my trend line. Now, it did do that before, by the way, when it had a major sell-off over here. But, we were hoping for a continued move to the upside from this thing. And we were actually looking at it to do it this way, but it just kind of broke down and ended up going sideways. So now we're just looking for trend lines and we're looking for trend patterns. We're just trying to find where it's going to go next. And you can probably make you could probably say that it's like an ascending wedge pattern. But I mean, most of crypto is right now, right? I mean, most of it just kind of is. So we'll see how this plays out. But hopefully it breaks to the upside. Now, the end of this article does say that it expects that in February, the Crow price would probably hit that 10.1 cents. Now, I do have crypto.com content coming out today. And in that crypto.com content, I did make clear that for those of you who are interested in Crow, that we have several points of major resistance here. We're going to have to get over the 200 EMA and 12.7 cents. This is the FTX collapse number. We've not recovered that, even though Bitcoin has recovered that number. So it's important to get over that spot. And then this is the August number when we had the merge. This is not a big number, but it is a point of contention at 15.8 cents. This one is the point of contention. This is the number over here in May and June. And this is where we had the collapse of Celsius and Voyager Digital, and where Alex Mashinsky was apparently making himself $68 million richer. But it's 19.3 cents. And that's going to be a point of contention. If we can get over this right here, then that means the bull run is on, right? That's what people have to get over, is at least that line right there, because that represents two important areas of capitulation in the market. And then that means if that happens, there'll be enough money coming back in, enough capital flowing back into the market that we can make that next move, which that next move is a giant move, by the way, and that's up to 42.9 cents. That's where the collapse of Terra Luna happened. And that is when we get over that, the bull market is on. Now, it might run slow, of course, might run slow, but there we go. That's exactly what needs to happen in these markets. And then if that happens, then we are in great shape. Now, back over here, you can see we're at 1.002 trillion. The Dow Jones has not opened yet. We're going to be opening any second now. And crypto, Ethereum at 1582. Let's drop down to the hour chart. You can see right here, we've had a nice move to the upside. Really would be good one more time to get a test here in this 1640 range, and maybe even 1680 should be, this is, at some point, Ethereum is going to have to show a little bit of strength for this market. Otherwise, then we're probably looking at some significant downside because, you know, Bitcoin cannot carry everything, and Ethereum is not doing its part right now. If anybody, excuse me, if anybody's watching, by the way, Luna has been having just a really good time over the last little while with these mad pumps. They're going from $1.80 up to $2.50. And then down here, we had the same, you know, it's been moving up and been holding over the 200 EMA until yesterday with that little capitulation move, but it's pumped its way back up over it. And, you know, all of a sudden, the world doesn't want to see Do Kwon go down because now the world understands that it was SBF and it was that prick Ken Griffin from Citadel, that they were the ones that were stealing the money from you. You know, it's crazy. Look, Do Kwon should have done a better job of protecting everybody from those guys. That algorithmic method that he was using obviously did not work, and it was an experiment the whole time. But suddenly they're not looking for him anymore. You know what I mean? Now people are starting to understand that he was the he was the innocent guy in all of it. He just didn't program it good enough. And you know, you fire people for security concerns like that. You don't prosecute them with the, what do they call them, like the shadow guard of Korea or whatever they were called. So, you know, that kind of crazy stuff right there. Yeah. So anyway, Dow Jones is up 37 points to start off the day. So we are in positive mode. Hopefully the gains will continue over the course of the day. We look over here, by the way, at the we did see a crossover here, and it looks like the signal line, the MACD is over the signal line right now, meaning that we probably are in for a little bit more upside if it looks like that. You know what? You know what I mean? So, but you can see here, Doge still on that. Look, Doge is on that hype train because they think that Elon's coming for them. You know, look, they're dwelling on all of the positive things that might happen because Elon is saying that he'll eat a cheeseburger for them or something. I don't know. He'll eat a cheeseburger at McDonald's if McDonald's will take Dogecoin, and just all kinds of crazy stuff right now. Just a little bit weird, but they are banking right now on the fact that he will bring out a payment mechanism that will include Dogecoin, and I do think that he will, by the way. So now here's what I would tell you. I would tell you that this is not a buy moment, definitely not at 9 cents. It wasn't even a buy moment at 8.5 cents. That buy was going to be under the 200 EMA for sure. So if it came down like 7 cents, then again, it would be a buy. But at 9 cents, look, you do what you want, but I would be on the sidelines for this one. We don't have anything else of significance. Mina Protocol, again, is having a nice little pump today, but it did have a dump yesterday, so it's just basically catching up to where it was before. So let's close that out. Let's go over here. And Kabosu went absolutely out of its mind yesterday, minting brand new highs, putting itself way, way, way up here from 1,500. It was almost at my buy line, by the way. Didn't quite make it, and then just went absolutely bonkers, up about 200%. See that? 7-day total up 67%. So Kabosu having a good little run. NGN up another 28.4% to 11.93 cents. And well, we don't have 7-day total for it yet, but continuing to add a few new holders, continuing to move. Floki 26.53. Up 11.7%, continuing to just make that move. Now, it did hit that big top over there, and then it corrected, retraced a little bit. Did not retrace very far, by the way, for a pump. So, and just is continuing on. Market cap 247 million. It is Floki time. So, congratulations to Floki. They are continuing to crush. Now, they are hitting 26.35, which does appear to be at least a level of minor resistance for right now. So we'll see how they do. Hulk is up 7% on the day. SHIB is up 1.6%. We need listen, guys. We need SHIB. We absolutely need SHIB to have some good runs. We need SHIB to start coming alive and doing something, because this is retail right here. This is where the people come back. And if the people are going to come back, they're going to come back to SHIB. They're going to come back to Bitcoin. That's just how it works. You know, we have plenty of projects that they could come back to, but these are the ones that they will come back to. Decanect is up 1.5% on the day to 10 cents. Terra at 3,000, still just kind of hovering around that 3,000 range. Bone still at $1.30 range. BCB coming back at 1.2 cents. Looks like they're making a curve back around, but look at MACD number. The money inflow came, and then it looks like it's exiting again. So I'm not sure about that one. Cult is at 79.20. Still, again, not showing enough strength to really make anything happen here. WAGMI at 29.46. Again, it's just we need a launch for anything to happen. And then we get into just a long run down here of reds. Cato, Lillian, Volt 76.52, RBIF 1916, Saitama at 24.27, MMAI 38.09, BRL $1.77, and Shibi at 47.11. Now Saitama, listen, here's the weird thing with Saitama, right? Like I said before, you know, Saitama's going to have that run. Saitama's going to have that moment. Saitama really needs about a $300 or $400 million market cap. But here's the problem. Problem is, all of this right here is probably not because of Saitama not doing anything. It's probably because Saita Realty is running so hot. Saita Realty has been just pumping and pumping and pumping right now, and it's up a couple 100%. And that being the case, people are taking their money out of Saitama to put it into Saita Realty. Now, here's the other part, right? Most people will say that money will come back into Saitama, but does it really? A little bit does, but not all of it, because it wouldn't make sense at this point. If you move some of your Saitama over to Saita Realty, then there's no reason for you to come back over unless you're playing it against one another and you're trying to move Saita Realty money back over because there's a dip on Saitama, and then you want to buy it back for the next big move. Then you want to sell it back into Saita Realty, and back and forth. I mean, you could play it that way if you start to see a pattern or a correlation. But, you know, this is it's very difficult. The ecosystem, look, you should be super happy with Saita Pro and super happy with the whole ecosystem finally coming alive, and you're finally starting to see all these big moves and some regaining of some of the strength that's just been absolutely missing. But you have to also consider still 108 million market cap. You know, you need $1 billion market cap before anybody's going to take you seriously at this point. And that's going to be about a 10x move. And that would put Saitama at 2 cents. If you see Saitama at a penny, and really you don't even need a 10x, a 5x to get to a penny changes the game. Because when Saitama's a penny, remember that was a thing back when we were waiting for it to run on the V1. So when Saitama hits a penny, people are going to start paying some serious attention again. And to be fair, with 141,000 holders, you know, you could make an argument. Matter of fact, let's go look here and let's see what Saitama looks like. But you can make an argument that Saitama could actually help bring back all of that, bring back all those people that I've been talking about. Let's look at the holder tracker. No new holders in the last hour, 52 in the last day, 471 in the last 7 days. It's not having much of a run. I think most of the stuff is actually moving over to Saita Realty right now. So yeah, that's not really this is not that much. this is not that much being added into Saitama at this point. So yeah, if you get to 1 cent, you get to 1 cent, and then things are going to start getting crazy. So let's hope that something happens there. And then, because I mean, like SHIB added 6,000 in the last 7 days. You know what I mean? So adding 52 versus 6, it's just the numbers don't add up yet. So that's not going to fix anything, but still impressive to get back up here, and you're about 3x from that low. So and holding that position as well, that's pretty important as well. So but that's it, guys. That's my time. I am now off to go do my thing. This is not financial advice. My name's Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you learned something today. I hope that you got some information, whatever it is that you needed in order to navigate this day. I do think that we're on that pump, but it's nothing is going to happen too drastic, I don't think, because the only way that it would really happen like that is if we got a leak. And that leak came from this FOMC meeting today, and it said 25 basis points is baked in. You better strap on your goggles because we're about to get sent. Like, that's about the best that you could do. And I don't know that we're going to get that. So there won't be a gigantic pump, but there might be kind of a relief. Look, I think Bitcoin probably should be at about 23.5. So I think we run to about 23.5 all as the day goes on. Ethereum, I want it at 1640, but 1610 is actually the number on where it's probably going to settle. So, maybe we'll see 1608, 1610. And then, SHIB, if we can get a rally into the 1200 range, that would be a nice little lift for SHIB. And, then that relief rally can really get started. So that's the way I look at it. And then tomorrow we get the actual information. And then, maybe the market gets sent. Now, the technicals on the earnings whisper have not been bad. So I think we're in good position. So it's not financial advice. My Bleeves. I'm always right. And we will talk to you again very, very soon.
Looking for the good life and good life. Sitting on top of the world. I want to be shining like diamonds and pearls.